Hi, I'm Danny Crouch and welcome to Gen XY, where two blokes from two different generations are talking about all things men stuff. And here's my mate.
Malcolm Painter, I'm from Gen Y.
And I'm from Generation X, obviously.
You said it for once, not me.
I'm glad you find it funny. So the objective is, don't bump the table.
Sorry.
That's not the objective, but it's one of them. We're going to run a podcast or a YouTube clip or whatever you're watching or listening to this on. Run for about 30 minutes. We're going to talk about, as we said, anything to do with men's health, sport, stuff that interests us.
Psychology.
Came about, psychology, mindset, obviously with
Attitude.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID, everything,
Yeah, with COVID, a lot of people are struggling and challenged and want some stuff to listen to, and we get along quite well, and we sort of spent a lot of time talking. We thought, why not record some of it and see if anyone finds it
wants to
interesting.
listen.
Yeah,
for sure.
So the basic setup is we have a couple of segments, and today we're actually going to include another one, and the main topic is going to be on this topic. But what we've been doing in the past is we've been talking about something for about 15 minutes. Then we do, that's the other thing we talk about, strengths too.
Yes.
So a bit of the stuff we incorporate in my business and about positive psychology and strengths-based psychology. So my number one strength is maximizer, which means I'm always looking to find ways to improve things and make them better. So my little segment is the mad maximizer. So it might come across sometimes as if it sounds like I'm complaining or moaning, but it's actually, I've identified areas that aren't fully successful and they can be improved.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not moaning, it's not complaining. It's finding something that could be better.
Yeah.
And helping people to realise ways to make it better as well.
Yeah, indeed. And
now,
your segment?
My number one strength is positivity. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I like to obviously find positive things going on in the world, whether it be an interesting little fact, or a little statistic, or whatever else it may be. Something that I find quite interesting. I hope you guys do as well.
And what's the segment called?
Meow Nose Boats.
Meow Nose Boats. Where does that come from?
Don't backchat me, mate. I know boats, alright?
Yeah.
Blocker Roach.
TV ad from the 80s, I think it was.
Yeah, 80s and the 90s, yeah.
No, King G.
No, it was King, yeah. Zero was the lowest.
Yeah. King G. Alright. So we'll introduce this topic that we're going to talk about today, and it's got a whole lot of different facets, and I'm sure we can talk about it more in the future. But what we also want to do is include another little sort of 2 or 3 minute segment around it. And what we want to talk about is cryptocurrencies, but today it's going to be more around investing and how you get your mindset into it and all that sort of stuff. But we know nothing about it.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I cannot stress this enough. We absolutely know the basic bare minimum. Yeah. So it's going to be a long journey.
How appropriate to come in over 2 generations. It's only been going, 2009?
Yeah, so I think what you'll find is that the whole reason why they brought Bitcoin in was in direct response to the GFC, to have a decentralized currency, so it wasn't regulated by one thing, it was regulated by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you'll find it happened maybe around 2008, 2009.
Yeah. Okay. Which, as I said, I think it's a good topic to talk about over 2 different generations because no one's really lived through it. You know what I mean? So you can't go to your parents for advice or whatnot, and you can't ask really what other people have done. So your knowledge and my knowledge similar about the topic, but how we're going to learn about it is going to be completely different.
Absolutely. And the whole reason why I think it's come in, or the whole reason why you think it's come in as well, it's going to be completely different. And there really hasn't been anything like this. The internet started in the early 90s, which has allowed all these different possibilities like cryptocurrency to come into play. You're a little bit older than me, but I can't think of anything that would even compare to cryptocurrency and the wave that's bringing.
Well, until we find out what it actually is.
Fair enough.
Because there are some questions I'll throw around, and I don't expect you to necessarily know the answers, but they're what we're going to be searching for. A couple of things I want to mention, though. We're not going to be giving any financial advice. So we're not going to be telling people what to buy, what to sell, or how to do anything, other than maybe, we found this wallet, or, this is how much it cost us to do this, or something.
To be fair, after what we just spoke about we know bare minimum nothing, I don't think anyone's going to really take what we say as being gospel.
But, I mean, someone could listen to this in 2 or 3 years' time, and we're talking about, we're doing quite well, and they come back and go, okay, I want to learn from the beginning.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, that's the aim.
Yeah.
That's the aim. Another thing I want to mention, and I've noticed this more on TikTok than other social media sites, is you're getting these probably beautiful people coming on and saying, I've never done this before, I know nothing about it. chances are, my bet is that they're being sponsored and they're being paid to do this. They're like influencers, and they've probably got some sort of financial advisors or whoever, crypto advisors behind them, backing them.
I know exactly what you mean. Sorry to cut you off. I mean, you get these beautiful people. They come on their first videos. Oh, this is going to be. I've just quit my job. This, join me on this journey. We're going to do this together. In the second video, they're just talking jargon that I've got no idea. And it's like, well, hang on a second, darling. Like, come on, back up a few steps there. We're literally trying to learn this with you, and you're not doing it any justice.
Yeah, so I think our main focus in the beginning is going to be getting our head around making the decisions. So, for example, I've been listening to a few podcasts for the last couple of weeks, trying to learn as much as I can. And I know the way my brain works is when I hear someone and they suggest something, it can turn me off. And I just go, oh, hang on, I'm going to procrastinate now and I'm going to stop and think about it. So we're going to talk about confronting these decisions and choices and how we get through them and that sort of stuff.
Yes, and I've got my own personal experience. One of my good friends, she's quite clued up with stocks and shares and buying and selling, and something that I'm really, really at the bottom, and I really struggle to. If I don't know something, if I don't understand something, I'm going to struggle to get involved with it until I have a basic understanding and I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. So, for example, I had a little bit of money spare sitting in my bank account doing nothing, and she said, buy the stock, put $1,000 into the stock. And me and my mate were sitting there. He had a bit of spare coin there as well. And we had the buy order set up. We just couldn't bring ourselves to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't all of our savings. It was probably only, we had more money behind it. Well, that wasn't the point. The point was just that you're still bringing your thumb to hit buy. And we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it. It was a very, very scary premise.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm going to find quite a challenge to get over when we get into this whole crypto world and we actually start buying and we start, learning a little bit more about the eco space. It's going to be something. I'm glad that you're here because you like taking risks.
Yeah, you say that. It's got to be a mindset thing where it becomes a number and not a dollar value. And that comes with getting used to it and repetition and stuff like that. So you say I like taking risks. Let me run through some stuff I've done. And I always seem to be on the wrong end of the stick. Or you choose to look at it the way you do. It's a learning curve. I've come out of it. So you mentioned the GFC. I did a share trading course in August of 2007.
Yeah.
So, boom, everything dropped and fell out. It lasted at least 12 months, and by then I'd lost heart and just went and forgot all about it. So I'd done a year or so's research, trying to find all these companies, learn how to do it. I was paper trading, all this sort of stuff.
Sorry, mate, just so I know, when you say a share trading course, did this company teach you how to do technical and fundamental analysis and what you should be looking for and what this means and what this means and what this means?
Yeah.
So have you still got any knowledge about that at all?
I've possibly got all the folders and stuff. But it came with the software program, so you would then work out your rules that you want to put in. You type them into the program, and then it just follows these stocks.
Like your parameters.
Okay. And an alarm or a light or a message will go off when you hit sort of 3 or 4 different rules that you want something to follow.
Right. So for the 4 months or the 5 months, because this is going back, you'd know this more than me. Did the GFC happen? Was it the start, middle, or end of the 2008?
I think it was early.
Was it quite early, like COVID? Right, okay.
So remembering August 2007, my plan was to do 6 months of paper trading.
Right.
And by then, I think things had gone south.
So how did you go with the paper trading before? Let's imagine the GFC never happened. So how did you go with the paper trading before that?
It's hard to say. I mean, it was that long ago. It was almost like I try and switch these things off and take away what I learnt from it. Yeah, it's another education. Cost me a few $1,000s, all that sort of stuff.
Enough. Anyway, so following on after that?
I've been in property where it used to be the rule that every 7 years you'd double the price of your property. And I think my first property I had for 12 years, did some renovations and made maybe 60%. And then it was sold 2 years later for 100% or 200%, whatever you want to call it. So booms and what's it, bears or whatever it is?
Bull and bears.
Not my cup of tea. I've bought other software programs, and I thrive on education. So I'm constantly doing a course or doing something, degree or whatever. So it's all a big learning thing for me. But now it's the internet, so it's all free. You know?
Exactly. You just got to find the right information and trustworthy information. There's a lot of cowboys out there for sure.
Yeah, indeed. So we have had a punters club and we run it from January through to Melbourne Cup, and we sort of bank a little bit, and then Melbourne Cup we go and have a good day and have a few drinks and lunch and stuff like that.
Free Melbourne Cup day, beautiful.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to do something similar to that, where we just put a little bit aside, whether that's possible, because one of the biggest challenges I've found about this crypto stuff is I don't know how to work out the fees. As I've listened to all these podcasts, and I don't know if it's just such in their mindset and their common knowledge they forget to tell newbies what it means, or they're scared to mention it because it might scare people away, or...
Well, on the back of that as well, and this is another thing, this is the reason why we're trying to do this as well, because we literally know the bare minimum, and that we've tried to find people out there who are at our stage and literally walk through us step by step, but there are so many people out there that obviously know a little bit more than us, and they just obviously forget to talk about the key points.
Yeah.
Whereas we are literally going step by step, so it's so hard to find a bit of credible information or source out there that actually talk about the fees.
Yeah.
Because it's just obviously ingrained in what they do all the time. If they're trading cryptocurrencies, they're the fees, you know what I mean? But for us, we don't know.
Again, back when I was looking into shares, it was something like $19 to buy shares.
Yeah.
So say you bought $1,001 shares, you'd have to pay $19. So straight away you're out of pocket $19. So it then became, well, there's no point really buying $50 worth of a share because you're spending 40% on the fees. And then when you want to sell them, you're going to have to spend the same amount again. So you're going to have to make an astronomical amount. So it was the thought of, well, I'm going to need a nice float or bank to do trading, right? So I can have the fees in there and still have it not really make an impact. So that's where the mind goes to, oh shit, I don't know enough. Am I willing to put that sort of money aside? So what I'm hoping, and again, this is something we don't know, with the fees set up, it is a small percentage. So whether you buy something for $5 or $5 million, it's just a percentage of that amount. Because if that's the case, we can just put a little bit aside each week.
Exactly. 100%.
And it's not about making money. It is about learning about the fees, learning about these wallets, learning about the
wallets,
coins, the platforms, all
putting
this
money
sort of
in,
stuff.
taking money out, putting your trades on, researching the coins for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we can agree on. The consensus is just do it. From all these podcasts and
that's not advice.
Yeah, that's not advice. Sorry, but that's what they just say. Just don't paper trade. Don't do it. Just get involved. Even if it's $20, it's not about making money. You're probably gonna lose money, but at least you're gonna learn how the ecosystem works.
But the way I look at it also is we could probably go and find someone and pay them a couple of $1,000s to teach us how to do this. Well, okay, why not just throw a couple of $100 in and see where it goes? It's the same process in my mind that we're educating ourselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to find someone and pay them $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 to teach us how to do it, you may as well just give them a couple of $1,000 to trade for us. Do you know what I mean?
But then you're not learning.
Then you're not learning, yeah. But
what I'm saying is, say in the next 10 weeks we put $20 each in. Okay, that's $400. All right, we're paying $400 to learn how to do the crypto stuff over the next 10 weeks, and then after 10 weeks we've got zero.
I mean, it's something that we really need to figure out what the best way forward is, and at the moment we just don't know enough.
Yeah.
So if you know any tips, if you know anything, give us hit us up on our socials.
Yeah, or have any questions?
Yeah.
Because obviously you mentioned the fear of pulling the trigger on that trade.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big one. And I think having two of us, that might work well.
Well, I think, you've had a lot more experience, obviously being a little bit older and, with your age and your money as well. You're not wealthy, but you've had the opportunity to build up your bank.
I'm very wealthy. What are you talking about? I've got everything I want.
To build up your bank, to be able to invest, you know what I mean? I'm still quite young. I haven't been able to have that opportunity. I've got a bit of money that I'm looking to do something with now. You've actually done it before. You've pulled the trigger. You've taken that first step where I haven't. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be quite a nice balance where I might pull you back if I think it's a bad idea, or you might encourage me to go through it if it's got to be a good idea. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we've got that interesting dynamic.
Indeed. And then, of course, on the opposite side of not being able to pull the trigger, you've got one of your millennial sort of sayings, FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah. So,
and that plays well in my mind as well. I mean, especially when you see a lot of success stories out there, a lot of people are making a lot of money through cryptocurrency. Of course, I want to get involved. Yeah. So that's why it's going to be so good that you're going to be with me and I'm going to be with you as well. Yeah. Encourage me.
I think we're keen to do this over the long haul, not just a short, sharp. Let's get in, try and make 200% in 2 days, and then jump out. We want to learn how to do these things, and it's going to be an experience in, as you say, pulling the trigger and getting used to these things. And, down the track we want to diversify and look at different options, and I'm even share trading and property and all this sort of stuff. But this is the new one. This is the new craze. So.
It's definitely something I find very interesting. But one thing that I have learned, and I spoke about you during this. I spoke to you about this during the week, is that the more I learn, the more I find out that I don't know anything at all. Do you know what I mean? It's like you take one step forward and it opens up this whole other world like this, and then you take another step forward and it opens up this whole world like that, and you just go, holy shit.
See, if I pulled a strengths hat on there, I'd be saying, well, where's your positivity there? Why isn't it focusing on where you were before to where you are now and what you've gained, rather than looking at what I don't know?
Yeah, no, and 100%. It's probably me not using positivity all that well. It's just me getting overwhelmed with the fact that anxiety builds up, and you go, "Oh my god, I'm just never going to learn it all." But positivity goes, "Yep, you were here, now you're here."
Yeah,
let's just take it one step forward at a time.
And we're gonna learn twice as fast because there's two of us.
Exactly, together.
If you do anything, that is. Well, don't leave it all to me.
Typical Manly fan.
What?
Well, I'm a Bears fan. You guys won all the premierships.
Yeah, Bears don't play anymore. It speaks for itself, doesn't it?
All right.
Well, that's the plan. So, we're going to move into the segment. So, we'll give you an update next week of how the crypto journey is going. Whether we pull the trigger by then is going to be a different story, because apparently we've got to work out how to get a wallet and how much fees it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Because our trading plan, for want of a better word, may not work because the fees are too expensive. So, we might have to
reboot,
jiggle it and shuffle it and see where we go. If you even know the answers to this stuff, we'd love to hear from you. But we'll give you how you can contact us at the end of the show. So, Mad Maximizer time. All right. Of course, what we try and profess when we're doing these shows is we're just talking about opinions, and we're not saying we're right or wrong. A lot of the time it's us sort of sitting on the fence and just saying, look, we're open to all suggestions and all ideas.
Interpretations.
Interpretations, and not being judgmental.
Exactly.
But one thing I think has really had me bamboozled over the last probably couple of months now are these minority groups.
Okay.
And how they kick up such a stink about being in this minority group. Now, I go to, okay, well, I've got slightly darker skin. I'm not African American. I'm not dark. But I was brought up, bullied, I was all these sort of things. I don't class myself as being different. And I try not to class every other person as being different. Naturally, as human beings, we see things differently. Everyone is different to us. No one is exactly the same unless you're a sort of twin. And then there'd still be differences in personalities.
No. Even then, there's a lot of differences.
Yeah. But what seems to be really getting on my goat are these people continue to talk about it and complain about it. And I'm not negating the tough times they go through, but as long as it's still a topic, then it keeps happening. And for example, there's a reality show, and as most of these reality shows do, they segregate different groups depending on demographics and all this sort of stuff.
For TV views,
For TV viewers, and they'll have these groups, and I think I've spoken about these before. But I watched this show, and there was about 20 of them on there, but then this minority group, there was 4 of them, and they joined together. And they were talking about how proud they'd be that if their minority got through and, they stood out and all this sort of... And I'm just thinking, why not blend in? Why not get along with everyone? You're the one that's actually making it a difference. You're the one that's making it stand out.
Yeah, it's standing out, so it's going to stick around. It's sticking in people's minds. So exactly. Yeah. Carrying on from that as well, if we're going to talk about, getting through... Let's bring politics into the point. I'm not sure if they've done it in Australia, but I'm pretty sure in New Zealand they definitely try to bring quotas into the Labour Party. They had 50% of the actual people in Parliament had to be women. It's the same sort of thing. Surely the best person for the job should get the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not all about bringing people in for the sake of... and okay, if we're going to talk strengths, I've got an includer. And one of the big things about includer, if you use it in the wrong way, you're including people for the sake of including people, as opposed to including people who are going to actually, spread or increase knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you should always be trying to include people who is going to be the best person for the job or the best person to help you get the job done. Not purely for including them for quotas or to make them feel welcome or whatever else.
Yeah.
You've got a job to do, so do the job.
Yeah.
Simple.
And I can also see how that can cause even more racism, sexism, all these things, because then you're getting other people going, oh, he's only got the job because he's that way, or she's only got the job because she's that way.
So reverse racism or reverse sexism or reverse anything is still racism, sexism, or anything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's a topic that we feel quite strongly about, and it's something that we have to be quite careful in the delivery. And obviously, we are not against anything like that whatsoever, but if you're going to keep bringing something up in the media and whatever, it's going to keep spreading hate, which is going to cause more hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple.
Absolutely. Yep, that's Max done.
Yep. Now, my topic. Mel knows boats.
Do you?
Don't backchat me, I know boats, alright?
Yeah, I bet you do.
Quite an interesting thing I stumbled across, it was a couple of years ago now, I re-stumbled across it watching TikTok about 2 months ago, which I found very, very interesting. It's called the Mandela Effect. Okay, now it's a psychology phenomenon, where a large group of people, meaning the mass people in society, misremember a certain topic or a certain subject or a certain aspect of life. Okay, it all stems from Nelson Mandela. This analogy worked a lot more before he did pass away, but a lot of people remember that he passed away in the 90s or the early 2000s, which is false. I think he passed away in 2013, which is why this whole thing came in. I thought he died this, and brought in this whole massive, wave in people misremembering a lot of things. Now, a couple of different examples. C-3PO in Star Wars, what colour was he?
Gold with a bit of silver?
Nah. See, most people remember him as being an all-gold robot. He's got a silver leg.
Yeah.
Queen, we are the champions. What's the final word? Most people go, of the world. Not true. It's we are the champions, and it goes black. But I wanted to have a bit of a chat with you. Why do you think this happens? Is it, and especially, it's not a minority of people that misremember things. It is a global majority that seem to misremember things. Is it just...
There is psychology behind it.
Is there?
That's why when it comes to witnesses of crimes and accidents, there are so many troubles, because people believe they see what they want to see, and they think they've seen something that wasn't actually there.
Actually true, yep.
So there's plenty of tests around that where you watch a video and then you get asked all these questions of what you remember seeing. And it could be something like there's a person sitting in the park with a hat on, and then someone walks past without a hat. And the question might be, did the guy that walked past you have a hat or not? Where you remember seeing a hat, you don't remember which person it was on, but your mind plays tricks on you and it puts the hat on the person that's walking past.
Yeah. I just found it very, very interesting. I've looked at a few different examples. By all means, if you listen to this, go and have a look. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with a few of them. I know I was, and I'm pretty sure you were as well.
But think about how many arguments that causes between couples. I remember you said that, or I remember you did that, or I remember this happened, when in actual fact it may not have. So you could be causing yourself grief if you're a bit pushy. And
No, I'm just talking about facts that happen in life, like things like C-3PO. I mean, there's a few different logos that have been misremembered over times. You know what I mean?
I'm taking it to another level and saying, hey, we all do it. It's not like you're a bad person.
Exactly, 100%. If you're going to go to that level, causing problems with your partner or whatever else, take a step back and maybe realise that you could be both wrong. Or one of you might be misremembering.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Well, it could quite often be perceived as a lie. So you might start accusing someone of lying, where in actual fact, in their mind, they remember that's what happened.
They might, yeah, exactly, 100%. And it goes back to what you said before. The customer believes that they are right.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So, if anything, raise a little bit of awareness, take a step back, have a little bit of patience, talk through it.
Oh, that's so wonderful. All right, that's pretty good for this one. I think we've got about 25 minutes in, so we're hitting the straps all right. Okay. So if you enjoyed that, great. Please subscribe or like or share or do whatever you do, depending on what platform you're watching. Hopefully we'll be up on the podcast sooner or later. We just haven't uploaded them. We're just sort of testing the waters on YouTube.
We spoke about it yesterday. I think the plan is record as many of these as possible for Christmas, and then as soon as Christmas goes, upload in bulk.
Yeah, and then every week or second week we'll do it. So we'll see how we're going after Christmas.
Now, where can these good people
find
us?
If you've got any questions or comments or any suggestions of what we can talk about, you can get us on email for the old generations like myself, which is genxy@chooseyourchapter.com.au. Then what else have we got? Socials, where are they?
Right here.
We've got the Choose Your Chapter YouTube channel. Which, if you are watching this close to real time, you're probably watching it there, because it's not uploaded anywhere else. Then we've got Instagram, TikTok is Jen underscore
XY_. For both.
There's an echo. I think I heard that twice. Jen XY. Jen
you took that long to say it.
Yeah, I'm giving him a bit of breathing space.
Okay. No, you were just trying to find it on the
Because
page.
chances are they may be listening to this at double speed.
We should do a whole podcast at half speed talking.
And then if we want, we can really try to speed it up and see if they can figure out.
It's a stinking fucking hot day, you remember?
Awesome.
So those tags again, Jen underscore XY, that is Instagram and TikTok, Jen underscore XY underscore again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Again, jump on board, give us a comment, like, share, subscribe, do everything.
Tell your mother, tell your papa.
Yep. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
It's better than Lego!